Well, hey, Book World. I'm KM Robinson of KM Robinson Photography and Reading Transforms, and this is your book cover style guide quick look for The Replacement Crush. The Replacement Crush is an amazing story about a girl named Vivian who is a book blogger who just had her heart broken by a guy who does not deserve her attention. Now, when a brand new McNerd moves into the neighborhood and starts working at her mom's bookstore, helping them to computerize their system, Vivian has to fight everything in her to not fall for this boy and instead make the logical choice and pick a boy that she has put on her replacement crush list so that she will never have her heart broken again. Now, of course, we know that this is going to be a big issue throughout the whole story, and I promise you want to go get it right now if you have not had a chance to read it yet, because it is the funniest story you are going to read ever. Because it's by Lisa Brown Roberts, and she is, if you've heard me talk about her at all ever, you know I love to say that she is the funniest contemporary young adult romance writer out there. Everything she does is so fantastic, so I highly recommend this book. I'm not going to tell you the details, but you definitely have to go grab it. Now, the great thing about this book is that it really lends itself to stylizing your book images. If you are getting ready to review this book for your blog, or if you're putting this on your social media, there's some really cool things that we can do based both on the cover and the content of the book. If you are stylizing your book based on the cover, you're going to notice that within this book, there's a lot of white tones, and then we've got some pink tones and blue tones, and then we've got a drawing on the cover. So this is really going to determine the way that we are photographing this book based on the cover alone. So if you're basing this on the cover alone, you're going to want to remember that this is a very light-based book. So if you are photographing it on something light-colored, it may not pop necessarily as much as you would like it to. So you might want to consider a darker color, or really pull in this pink color or these blue colors on the cover to make it stand out. If you put it on a white background, it might get drowned just a little bit, but you can totally do it. I know I've done it with my Deskscape images, so definitely try it, but add little accents of color to really make it pop. You can also do things like surround it by drawings. So if you go through the book or you do something similar to this, you can do little sketches in a notebook. That would be really cute with this. But you can also notice from the cover that it's got hearts with arrows because it's a romance. It's got a girl on her computer wearing headphones, so anything like that is going to work for stylizing this based on your cover. Now, if you're stylizing this book based on the content of the story, there's a lot of really cool things that you can do. So sit down and go through the story and make a list of the elements that keep popping up throughout this story, and use that to inform the images that you are creating. Now, we know the story takes place at a beach, so anything beachy, oceany is going to work really well for you. But we also know that Star Trek is a big theme, so anything space or Star Trek-like is going to be good. Just be careful to avoid copyright infringement with the Star Trek stuff, so stay pretty generic with that. Now, I love to pull in elements that represent the different characters. So if you're going to be representing Vivian in your image, you could do things like a computer because she's a book blogger. You could do things like books because she works in her mom's bookstore. We know that there's a lot of really cool things that represent Vivian that you can use within your image. If you're going to be representing Dallas, you could do things like his Vespa, or you could do his cello. You could do his McNerd glasses, because that would be the epitome of Dallas in this story. You could even do something like the jacket he wears toward the end of the story, you know what scene I'm talking about, and pull that in to represent him. Now, if you're representing Toph, you would want to do something related to surfing, because we know he is our resident surf champion in this story, and that would be so perfect to bring him into these images. Now, with Amy and with Jazz, you're going to want to bring in things that Vivian's best friends are known for within the story. So we know Jazz has a notebook where she is stalking all of her stars at the beach, and so you could bring in a notebook there. You could bring in books because Amy is in the book club with Vivian. And then, if you're doing your notebook, you might also want to double duty that and get that in for Vivian too, and write her replacement crush list actually out on the paper so that you can see those different boys that she's going through and the one that she's trying really hard not to. Now, we know Fisk is a rock star, so anything rock star-like would be great for him. You can also pull in things like sunglasses and disguise stuff because we know he likes to hide himself from the public's eye while he is in this story. So you just have to go through, pick the characters you want to represent, and bring that out into your story. And again, bring in those beach elements, bring in that Star Trek element, bring in the replacement crush list, bring in those things that keep coming up within the story, and you are going to have exceptional images that are highly representative of the story. Whether you're basing your imagery on the content of the cover or content of the story, make sure that you are keeping the book the focus of your image. Don't cover up the title or the author's name because you want your fans to be able to find the books that you are representing to them. Now, I have had a number of people come out to me lately and let me know that they went out and bought a book specifically because of an image I put up on Instagram of one of these books. So you have the power to do that too. I'm not the only one that can do that. If you represent a book in a way that makes your fans curious as to why an image is like that, why an element is placed in that image, or you make it look super pretty so that they have to have it in their life, or if you create a deskscape image where your fans are thinking, I can have that in my house, in my desk too, that is something you want to do to create an atmosphere that will make your fans want to read what you are reading. And they don't even have to read a single word you've written. These images can then prompt them to go check out your blog and see what you have written about this story. So make sure you are keeping the title and the author's name the focus of your book. You don't want to have anything too messy. You want to make sure everything's stylized and pretty and it looks very elegant and very refined. Make sure you have good lighting. And if you have not checked out our video tutorials on working in dark and limited lighting or how to avoid glare on glossy book covers, make sure you are checking that out on our YouTube channel because we have a whole host of resources that will help you improve your book photography. I'm KM Robinson of KM Robinson Photography and Reading Transforms, and if you enjoyed this book cover style guide quick look, I would highly recommend you check out www.readingtransforms.com because we have a whole host of amazing resource articles, resource videos, tutorial videos, courses, webinars, and amazing content that is going to help you improve your book blog, your author brand, your book marketing, your social media marketing strategy, and everything else that is going to help you grow your business to be where you want it to be. It's going to be amazing, and I can't wait to see you there. Stay inspired.